as a Columbia boy, where's Columbia at?
When is number 1?
When is Columbia
gonna fight for Columbia?
Yeah. No. Where is the Columbia fighters at for a Rock Hill show?
Well,
like, when is
Colin Godbout? I would love to get on a Fight For It show. I tried to get him on when he was in
the action in the ring tonight is Steven Bonatadabas. Round number 1. Here we go. Make something to fight fans. Let's get it.
Steven Pontonebius, our referee.
Bontatibus.
Is it really Pontonibus?
Yeah, Bontatibus.
No, it's Pontonibus.
These guys fast and furious, trading leg kicks. Now a good push kick right up the middle from the rear leg from Adrian Lopez.
Modern Warrior fighter throws 2 straights right there. Nice leg kick from Lopez too. Very snappy, explosive guy.
You tap the left hook to throw the low kick. What a lot of people don't realize about that left hook is it doesn't have to touch much. If you even touch their gloves, you can land that low kick because you're pushing them. You're also, go to left hook, snaps the head back.
Both guys are really swinging with intent.
They look fairly evenly matched. They look like
physically too.
Yeah, similar in build, similar in style.
I do like the feints on display from Roberts.
Yeah, Roberts feinting early on, which is
feinting
important.
with his hips and his hands.
Yeah.
They keep trading on that exchange there.
Yeah, they're doing a bit of jousting with the hands. Now, Roberts' headgear is riding high on his head. That's actually a bigger problem than most people realize.
Yeah, it cuts off that peripheral.
And if it gets snagged, it snags your head back more.
Oh, because of the weight.
Yeah, you're adding a lever to the top of your head when it does that. Rumor has it that some kickboxing programs strategize manipulating your opponent's headgear. You know, supposedly that's a thing in kickboxing.
You wouldn't know anything about that.
I would never.
You would never
talk about doing that in public. But that headgear riding up high like that is definitely a problem if the glove gets underneath the lip of that headgear.
Well, now
big knee,
nice,
big knee from Roberts, extending.
I think these guys very athletic guys.
Yeah, Lopez was able to back up to take some of that off, and now.
Look, you said it before. You don't need to stop throwing until the ref.
Yeah, Roberts begs off from a low blow and is fortunate that Lopez was a gentleman about it because the ref had not yet stepped in and Roberts was in a significant amount of danger.
Yeah, definitely.
Lopez chose to let him off the hook there, and then Steven Bontatibus step in.
The most handsome ref in South Carolina.
That guy
brings them back together.
It's insanely. He's insanely handsome.
Ooh, snapping punch right there at the end for Roberts. Great round. Both guys really quick, really snappy, but not exhausting themselves.
Yeah, you see Roberts adjusting that headgear, and he was able with even his gloved hands to grab that headgear and move it around very freely.
That's not good.
It needs to be tight.
If you can move it with your gloves and not your fingers, you're probably doing something wrong, right?
Yeah, it's not on very tight. Which, if he doesn't get hit a lot, maybe he feels that's fine. But if you get hit with a headgear like that, it's going to turn your head, which not only adds to the effect of your brain rattling around inside your skull, visually it gives the judges more cues.
Yeah.
They can see, if they see your head turn and they see the headgear go, similar to long hair.
I do think this is one thing that the fighters and the coaches even to an extent underestimate on these shows is the optics. That's all the judges have to work off of. We get a monitor because we're very lucky, we're very privileged. We got the button-up shirts on, we combed our hair. I combed my hair rather.
I combed my beard.
Yeah, we combed our beards. So we get the monitor, right? The judges, they work for the state. They don't get the monitor. The taxpayers don't pay for a monitor for them. Yeah. So, they have their eyes, and some of them are wearing, Coke bottle lenses out here. We don't know what the situation is with their eyesight, but the optics matter a lot. The body language matters a lot.
Roberts bouncing in and out, whereas Lopez is bouncing side to side more often than not. Big left kick from Roberts.
When it comes to a round like that, it's like who keeps that snappiness, who keeps the technique as the fight wears on when you have two very quick guys like this that seem to be throwing really hard. And then Rocks that throws that headgear off. That headgear has got to go. And he says the same thing. Roberts says it's loose. Keith Richardson, the professional, refused to coach in that situation. He was like, "You have to go to a neutral corner."
That's very good.
The veteran Keith Richardson, former world champion, one of the best fighters from this region in terms of legacy and name in the BKFC, and certainly has, like we said, that young men age category. He's got it on lock in this area, and he's big cross from Roberts, big overhand right, rather another overhand.
The headgear's giving him problems again.
He's trying to throw past the headgear.
Yeah, Roberts stepped in with a jab, then stepped in with a two and had a tremendous amount of success, and then his headgear's now giving him fits. His headgear's giving him fits. He starts swinging like like a monster, like a boogeyman. He's just.
Well, it's because his eyes are getting covered, or the headgear's moving around, and then and Lopez is reacting to that by jumping in, so he feels like he's, you know, in a very bad situation, so he's going to throw hard.
Yeah, when your gear starts moving around on you, it takes your mind away from the fight, and you can kind of tell.
I would be very worried about being blinded and getting hurt really bad.
Well, it's hard, you know, when something's amiss on your person, it's hard to ignore it.
100%.
Especially when you're under stress. That's why under stress people groom, people mess with their beard, they mess with their clothes. Good.
Robert's doing a great job of switching stances and throwing that right hand from various angles and stances, and I think that's one of the things that's kind of giving Lopez some fits.
Yeah. Roberts.
Catch, one strike, and you release, or just release it. Okay?
One of the best in the biz right there. Perfect tone to have with an athlete. Not aggressive, but firm.
Yeah, explain it. Because that's almost what he... Ooh, hard right hook over the shoulder from Roberts. Lands on Lopez.
Beautiful shot from Lopez with the hockey punch. Grabs the back of the headgear, delivers the punch right to the dome, and that looked like a fall to some, but we saw it. We were front row for it. That was a hard punch.
Well, it was a hard punch. You could argue that he wasn't dropped and that he got hard punched and slipped at the same time, but that is a knockdown.
Yes.
If you are punched and you fall, it's a knockdown.
And I find that in South Carolina they're a little bit more they're more giving with the knockdown, you know, than the average North Carolina referee. We've seen some straight up knockdowns that were called.
Look at his legs. See how locked they are?
Yeah.
Roberts' legs are locked as he goes back. I don't know whether it was from the punch that was ruled a knockdown.
Here's that punch.
That last punch. There was a good right hook
from Roberts. The way he grabs the back of the head right here, that's beautiful. So there was a look on the face of Roberts. Didn't look that impressive on the monitor, but Roberts was right here in front of me. I saw his face.
Grimace.
His eyes were up in the ceiling. Yeah. Like I saw it.
I concur completely. In the monitor, it does not look the way it looked live. He was hit and he fell. That is a knockdown. Now, it's not required that it's because your conscious is taken from your body.
Yeah.
If you're hit and you fall, that's a knockdown. So I understand Roberts' objection to it, but I also understand the referee's decision to rule that out. It was a knockdown, in fact.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even if they stand on your foot and knock you down, that's still a knockdown. Like it's South Carolina, especially, where they are a little bit more eager to hand that out than they are in North Carolina.
But Lopez landed a laser straight right hand at the bell.
To the temple, too. Not like to the shoulder and knocked him over. He landed it right to the dome.
And Roberts walked back to his corner with suspicious legs. It looks like he's recovered pretty well. Hard right hand.
Jeez,
he's swinging wild. I think Roberts is feeling a little bit of pressure. And he's answering back with big right hands.
These men are right here in front of us, and both of them landed at least one hard shot in that exchange. But Lopez just seems to be a little meaner with the punching. Yeah,
and Lopez has thrown a rear leg front kick every time they reset. That's really, really helped.
Lopez is catching him switching stances too.
Yeah. Well, Roberts' movement has been more forward and backwards, whereas Lopez is side to side. So that front kick from Lopez is keeping Roberts. Oh, good Lord.
How did nothing happen there? He literally forearm clubbed him right in the jaw.
Slightly inside the arc of that punch. I think an inch further away, and it's lights out Lopez.
That would have been a nightmare punch to take.
Roberts from southpaw throws a very good right hook over the top.
Yeah, I thought it was getting clocked by Lopez, but that one definitely slipped through, but he was inside the range of it.
I think that Roberts has done better from southpaw.
Yeah, 100%. That's especially with the right hand in the southpaw stance.
Yeah. It'll also, he stands more bladed southpaw, which most people do when they switch to southpaw, which will mitigate some of those front kicks. Lopez accurately predicts that he's going to try to change directions. And Lopez is narrowly avoiding death from right hand every time Roberts throws that thing. Lopez is just barely too far away, or just barely has the shoulder up. There's that front kick from the rear leg again.
Roberts hit a little leprechaun hop there.
Both men jab, and Roberts has a little more pop to it. He steps into his jab very well. Ooh. Now, whether that's fatigue. A right and a left.
Lopez is battering him.
And then answers with a front kick at the end, and then a right kick, and Roberts with a big overhand right.
Wow. Great fight.
They agree with each other that was a good fight.
Fantastic fight, gentlemen. Hell yeah. Man, people are bringing it in the kickboxing tonight. People are trying to finish each other out here in the kickboxing. Modern Warrior has another one on their hands with Adrian Lopez. They keep bringing these guys out, these young guys for debuts. I know that Shannon Lovelace there does a lot of the pad holding and the hand wrapping for them. The striking that this team has shown, they've got Ricky Rainey, they've got Keith, they've got Shannon. They have a team that is full of incredible striking resources and knowledge, and I thought those gifts were on display in this fight for sure. And Roberts had a great fight as well, I think. That knockdown was kind of fight-defining for me, but it was a very close fight.
Yeah, it's the body language here at the end is...
All right, after 3 rounds of fighting, we go to the judges' scorecard. And we have a unanimous decision fighting out of the blue corner, Adrian Lopez.
What a tremendous fight. Adrian Lopez getting the decision victory, being consistent, being in control most of the fight. Roberts keeping him in danger the whole time. He could have put his lights out at any minute with any one of those punches.
I like Chris Roberts' style. I like how, this is a guy who fights like he should be in a WWE ring instead of a kickboxing match, but I like the knees. I like the athleticism, the straights. I like the movement. I think he's a hard hitter, and he's a guy who definitely has the physicality to fight. So I'm eager to see him back, and I know that he's on a good team with a good coach if he's on that Lake Hickory/Lake Norman team.
All those right hands, if he were to tighten the arc on a few of them,